I want to begin by stressing that I'm not a paragon of excellence in this domain, so the goal of this video is not to be prescriptive. I do hope that there's something in this video that you find to be useful, but my goal isn't to sell you anything or to encourage you to think or behave like me. I just had 2 people in my life die unexpectedly within 2 months, and that triggered a depressive episode. So I just wanted to document my efforts to get out of it. I also think it's important to acknowledge that I'm coming from a position of privilege in many ways. Some of the mechanisms I try to utilize do cost me money, and if they don't cost me money, they might cost me time. And those are 2 things that not everybody has to the extent that I do. So I want to not only acknowledge that, but I also want to say that this video is just me documenting my efforts to get out of a depressive episode, but the way that the privilege shows up in this video might be triggering for some people. If you happen to be triggered by anything in this video, just know that I'm in your corner and I support you doing what you need to do to care for yourself, if that means stepping away from this video. I didn't know where to start, so I tried 2 things and just hoped that they would help. The first thing I thought to do was volunteer in a way that's not exploitative or self-aggrandizing. Erich Fromm says, "Giving is more joyous than receiving, because in the act of giving lies the expression of my aliveness. Giving implies to make the other person a giver also, and they both share in the joy of what they have brought to life." I really liked that quote. It was from a book I read of his called The Art of Loving. I got diagnosed with a brain tumor when I was 11, and that's the year that I began to volunteer regularly. At this point, helping other people is really foundational to who I am, and it brings me closer to myself. I decided to begin volunteering with a local nursing home because very little time, care, and capital is invested into elderly people in America. So elderly people, that is a demographic that I care a lot about. The second thing I did was come up with a few prompts that might help me get better footing. These are the questions that I came up with this week. If any other prompts come to mind that you find useful, please let me know in the comments so I can consider them too. When I'm in the midst of a depressive episode, I don't always enjoy waking up because my anxieties avalanche in my nervous system before I even get a chance to enjoy a few seconds of peace. When this happens, I get out of the house as soon as I possibly can and go hiking or go to the gym. This is just a way for me to hack my brain into thinking that we're okay. This method usually works, but this month has been much more difficult. I did try to cook and eat nutrient-dense meals this week. I hoped that the excitement I usually get from cooking would arrive in my body, but that joy just wasn't there in the way that it normally is. So that really sucked. By the middle of the week, I noticed that I wasn't eating, so I went to the grocery store and I bought the most low effort food I could possibly find. I bought a turkey, arugula, microwavable rice, I bought yogurt, turkey slices, cheese cubes, and like some fig bars. I'm nervous to share this because I don't want the people in my life that really care about me to worry, but I hope that being transparent about this struggle in particular will help you or help someone else feel like you're not alone. This week, I just continued to use the tools that I know work for me, even though it didn't feel like they were working this week in particular. Even though it didn't feel like I was getting anywhere, I didn't really abandon those tools, so I ended up not feeling as unbeheld as I felt last week, during the first week. One thing that really helped me push forward this week is painting. I began painting when I was 13, and it was one of the most effective ways that I coped with losing my parent. I took it quite seriously and had my paintings of the Lorraine Motel and Al Hajj Malik Al Shabazz in an art exhibit, so I was pretty good. But the reason I practiced as much as I did is because I got accepted into a high school that had so many resources and all of their painting supplies were free. So once I graduated, I realized just how much it costs to sustain a hobby like that, and I just couldn't afford it, so I just stopped painting. But painting was the first coping mechanism I ever really used to deal with great loss, and I really missed having that medium of transport in my life. So I decided to invest my time and money into painting this week. And oh my God, did it help? It makes me emotional to think about it. What I love about using painting as a coping mechanism is that instead of focusing on making something impressive or making something you can commodify, painting as a coping mechanism specifically transports you to a place where time seems to move slower, your appreciation for granularities heightens, your attention is honed, and external stressors just don't permeate the space that you're in when you paint. I just wish that painting and art in general could be more accessible. I bought myself a small treat this month. It's this lion's mane mushroom growing kit from a company called North Spore. It's like having a dog, but it's much more cost efficient and requires much less effort. It's so much fun, and it's one of the best investments I've made in my happiness. My friend, Mayumi, passed away, and I found out yesterday afternoon. Mayumi died unexpectedly, and she was young. She was very, very full of life. She lived more authentically and with so much fervor and tenderness and humor and style than anyone I know. Ooh. I'm trying to keep this positive. Yesterday I cried I sobbed all day on the phone with my mom, on the bathroom floor, and with Mayumi's friend Takako. I just, I'm just gonna try to respond to this in a way that is healthy. And damn, this is painful. Ugh. It was a tremendously painful week. The first 2 days really gutted me. As the days went on, I kept doing mental exercises to think about what she would want me to be doing. And I know that she would not want me to be on the bathroom floor sobbing for too long. She'd want me to hold on very tightly to the things that magnify my spirit. I've always shared in a way that's, or at least I've always tried to share in a way that's mindful and considerate of other people's emotional overhead and time. Over the last couple of years, 5 million people and counting have died because of the pandemic. So most people are dealing with loss, and that's made me much more reticent to discuss the loss that I've been dealing with. But I'm so grateful that I told my mom what I was going through, because she made me feel really supported and affirmed in my pain. So I just say that because I want to say first, I'm grateful for my mom. I'm really grateful for my mom, but I also really want you to know that if you're dealing with loss or a depressive episode, that it's important to give the people that care about you an opportunity to be there for you.
It looks good. Oh my gosh.
I began my week by baking cinnamon brioche bread for houseless people in downtown LA. The joy and excitement that I normally get from cooking is slowly beginning to come back, and I think it's because I'm not just cooking for myself. Cooking and baking for other people is what made me feel good this week, so that's how I spent most of my free time. I ended the week by taking a pre-recorded class by Dr. Becky Kennedy. The class is called Reparenting, Building New Pathways for Self-Care, Self-Worth, and Confidence. Reparenting is about understanding how your behaviors have been informed by your childhood, understanding how feelings show up in your body, and learning how to speak to ourselves and children with greater understanding and compassion. The class is normally $50-ish, but I follow an amazing entrepreneur on Instagram named Myleek Teal, who always shares incredible resources, and this week she shared a 50% off discount code to Dr. Becky Kennedy's course. So I'm really grateful that she did that. I'm grateful to the both of them for this because the class has been so wonderful. I've actually recommended the class to both of my grandparents, to my friends, to my parents, to everyone I know. It's really that good. So if it's within your means to do so, I definitely recommend that you take this reparenting course, even if you don't have children, because I don't have children and I have found it to be so incredibly helpful.
Oh, I'm only carbon and shoe. Yeah.
I also bought these roller skates this week. These roller skates were designed by a really talented world record holder named Marawa. She's a skater, a professional hula hooper, and a designer. She's many things. She's really talented, so you should check her out on Instagram. But this is also one of the best investments I've made in my happiness. I actually feel like skating by the beach this week has made me the happiest I've been all year. I hope that watching this has felt good to you, and thank you. And if you're experiencing a depressive episode right now, I'm with you. And if there's anything that I could do to be helpful in terms of sharing resources, creating a video, anything at all really, I'm there for you and would like to be there for you in the ways that I can be. So thank you for being here, and I will see you soon.